Hello, my dear students of class 10. I am again present with a few topic of chapter 1 Resources and Development of your geography syllabus. In the last video, I had talked about the factors that influence the economic development of a region. So, in the continuity, now the topic is resource conservation. Resource conservation. We all know resource, anything that we use to satisfy our needs, and conservation. When we conserve something, conserve the resource, we protect the resource from being degraded or being wasted or being depleted. It is called conservation. So when we conserve, we protect resource from being depleted or wasted or causing problem. It is causing problem to the environment. It is called resource conservation. In the previous unit, we have discussed that a number of problems have been caused due to the overutilization and inappropriate use of resources. That overutilization and inappropriate use of resources have caused a number of socio-economic and environmental problems. And that has worried our thinkers and leaders. The thinkers and leaders have been expressing their concern regarding these problems and the importance of resource conservation. And among these, Gandhiji was pioneer. Gandhiji was first line thinker who expressed his concern about the misuse or overuse of resources and their ill effects in the society. The famous quote of Gandhi regarding resource conservation, we all must remember. There is enough for everybody's need. There is enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. This is itself a big sentence, big statement. What does it suggest? It suggests that the nature has provided us sufficient resources to meet our needs, to meet the needs of the present time. But if we start accumulating resources out of greed, then greed can never be satisfied. Rather, it will cause a number of problems. It will have its consequences, and we all have to suffer from that, which we are suffering also. Pollution and global warming, threat of climate change, extinction of plants and animals, degradation, land degradation, soil degradation, water pollution. All these are the problems due to the overutilization. So Gandhi's concern is worth mentioning. There is enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. Actually, Gandhiji was worried about the introduction of modern machines in utilization of resources. He knew that the modern machines are of exploitative nature. They will process more and more resources just to make money, just to make profit. And that is not good. That is not going to be good for the mass level of people or for the society in future. And that is the reason Gandhiji was against mass production and favored production by masses. Mass production stands for industrial production, production at mass level, at large scale, and production by masses, where mass number of people, larger number of people are involved in the process of production. That used to happen in the form of cottage industry before industrial revolution. In those days, in every village there was cotton textile industry, cottage industry. The cloth was woven by hands. So that was production by masses. And today's production line, is mass production, industrial production. And Gandhiji had warned us well ahead time that mass production will have so many problems to the human world. In this regard, there are, in fact, Gandhi's view only has been presented in different forms by the world thinkers and leaders regarding resource conservation. A question is asked: what are the contributions of thinkers and leaders towards resource conservation? The first is of Gandhi's view. Gandhiji was against the mass production and favored production by masses. He advocated for resource conservation because production by masses will conserve resources. At international level, first time the Club of Rome raised its voice, advocated for resource conservation in 1968. After Gandhi's view only was presented in different forms, and the Club of Rome advocated for the first time at international level for resource conservation in 1968. Third, we find Shoemaker. He presented Gandhian philosophy only in his book, The Small is Beautiful. Small is Beautiful. And in his book, he talked about resource conservation by following Gandhi's method of production by masses. Fourth, we find the Brundtland Commission report of 1987. This report introduced the concept of sustainable development for resource conservation. We have already discussed the definition and the concept of sustainable development. And actually, first time the term came into use, sustainable development, from this Brundtland Commission report only. And since then, we find that only the realization of the objectives of sustainable development can help us in saving our resources. Because if we use resources only to meet the present need and we also conserve them for the future generation, and we should keep in the mind that present use also does not damage the environment. That is sustainable development. And you know that in 1992, the first International Earth Summit was organized in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And in that convention also, the main focus was how to achieve the goal of sustainable development, how to fight out the problem of environmental degradation, how to combat different kinds of socio-economic problems in the society. So these are the 5 points, 5 contributions from the world thinkers and world leaders towards resource conservation. So this can be asked, asked a question that what were the contributions, or what are the contributions made by world thinkers and leaders towards resource conservation. I hope if you might have understood these 5 points, and that will satisfy the question. Now, in the continuity of the chapter, we find two more resources to be studied: land resources and soil resources, and the related problems, related attributes. So, in the next video, we'll discuss about land resources of the country. So, thank you. You go through this video, read the book, and prepare yourselves. The question is, write the contributions of the world thinkers and leaders towards resource conservation. Thank you.